Now, for those of you that don't know me, I am he who is called the Story. I washed up on the mainland nearly 3 years ago, and I've been telling stories ever since. So what is the story you would like to hear tonight? A true classic? The Man and the Mountain? Or maybe something a bit more popular? The King and the Dragon? Or, and he kind of turns to you men, perhaps a new story. A story that has been kept in my family for many a generation, passed down to me by my father and his father before him. A story of the Dream Weaver. So what say you? What is the story you would like to hear this evening?
I'd say the Dreamweaver.
Dreamweaver sounds pretty cool. Who said that?
Was that the gingerbread man back there saying that?
How much does
The
it?
one
Does
that-
anyone know how much a drink costs in here?
The one that lives on Drury Lane.
With
The
that,
Muffin
he
Man?
smiles at you
The
all.
Muffin Man's been dead for 30 years.
Oh.
And as he places his hands down onto the table, he begins to play. The sun dipped below the horizon as the man stepped to the edge of the cliff. The last rays of the sunlight rippled across the face, outlining sharp, dark features resembling chiseled lines of stone. For the moment, it seemed like the man would be frozen there for all eternity, looking over the vast world below him. But the moment passed, and the rays disappeared. Darkness took the land, bringing with them a world filled with dreamers. Then the man began to dance. The dance was set to music, but the only ears that could hear the steady rhythm belonged to the man. And as that moment, he begins to pluck at the strings. A steady rhythm and music begins to flow throughout the tavern, and you watch and you listen as thump thump, thump thump, thump thump, the rhythm begins to match in time with the beating of your own heart. The beat was slow and steady, keeping time with the hot beats of those who slumbered below. The man's feet moved in time with the rhythm, rising and falling in a fluid motion as the dance carried him around the edge of the cliff. Thump thump, step step, thump thump, step step. As the man moved, the stars began to appear far above him, shedding light on a scene of serendipity as the music led the man on a predestined course through the dance of the Dreamweaver. It was faint at first, but the dance began its work. Around the man, the light of the stars began to coalesce into forms and figures. As the dance wore on and the night deepened, the forms became more distinct. Wrapping around the twisting motion of the man, the smiling faces of loved ones and friends began to appear. The dreams of those who slumbered below, bringing with them their hopes, their desires, finally taking form in the light of the Dreamweaver. The night progressed step by step, beat by beat. As the Dreamweaver practiced his craft, it was a good night for dreams. Happy dreams. Dreams of hopes and lives to live and joys to experience. It was a good night, a clear night. But dawn it began to rain. And as he says that, he strikes a chord on the lute, and you hear the rain pounding against the shutters and the roof begin to intensify. Top, top, top went the raindrops, and then the feet. Top, top, top. Matching the rain as the rhythm of the music changed to match the drops. It was slow at first, as storms usually are, but the beat began to increase as the rain began to pour, and the feet kept time. While the storm raged around, soon the lights began to change as the heartbeats of those who slept kept time with the feet and the rain. And as he says that, you all begin to feel your heartbeat slowly quicken as the rain begins to fall faster and faster and faster. Not a magical feeling, but emotion swept up in the story that he was telling. While the storm raged around, soon the lights began to change as the heartbeats of those who slept kept time with the feet and the rain. Hope gave way to fear as desire fell into despair. All around the man, the forms took new shapes, the shapes of fear and darkness, broken lives and broken bones, falling, then boom! A crash of thunder and silence. The rain slowly stops as the tavern leans in. A flash of lightning and a boom of thunder, and for the moment the music stopped and the feet stood still. As the world breathed deeply and slowly, the fear passed, the terror faded, and sleep once again took the tired world. The rain became a drizzle, and the feet kept time. The smell of the storm still fresh in the minds of those who dreamed, but the drops were slow and steady, and the lights began again to bring forms of love of those below, all while the feet kept time. Soon the stars began to fade, and the steps began to slow, and the music of the man who danced slowed, then stopped, as the last rays of the light fell upon the face of the dream weaver, and there he stood until the day was long, and the sun began to dip, and the man chiseled from stone, stuck in eternity, began again the dance of the dream weaver.